everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a fabulous day. I'm so glad you're joining me. Today is December 1st and I'm so excited because all month long Simon Says Stamp is celebrating an event that they do every year. It's called DieCember, in case you guys are new. Simon has some amazing brand new products to share with you all month long, and today I'm excited to share with you the very first one, designed by Tim Holtz for Sizzix. This creates a really pretty snowflake rosette, and it looks kind of small here, but it's actually a really big rosette. And this is exclusive for December of 2025, and it's a smaller die set. Let me show you on an A2 size card base. So it's a smaller die set, which means the price points are fabulous. And so we're going to make a card with this today. I want to mention also that Simon has some brand new cardstock. It's some really pretty cardstock. And this cardstock is on the thinner side. Let me show you some colors. These are some of the colors that I have. But this cardstock being on the thinner side, it's heavier than printer paper, but a lot more lighter weight than Simon's 100-pound cardstock. So this would actually create fabulous rosettes too, because there are score lines on here that of course you have to do the accordion fold. In case you guys have never made a rosette, you do an accordion fold with it, and the lighter weight paper makes it really easy. So Simon has that option available. So that's new, also part of December. We're not going to use lightweight cardstock. I'm just going to use what I had in my stash because I want a particular color for my card today. But this is called the Thinlits Snowflake Rosette die for December 2025. So much fun. Let me open it up and show you what it looks like. There are 3 dice in here. The circle is the back of the rosette. The snowflake is the top of the rosette, and then you have this piece. Okay, all we need are 3 pieces of this. Kind of looks like a little crown. Make a really pretty border too, actually. But I'm going to run this through my die cut machine 3 times, and then I'm also going to cut out my snowflake and the circle too with the same cardstock. Now before we get started, okay, I do want to mention 2 things. That I'm going to be using my glue gun. Not really, it's not a glue gun, it's a glue tool from Spellbinders. It's the new one, to put everything together. But you can use regular glue. I'm going to use both on my card today. We're going to do a little bit of ink blending on these strips. Okay, so what I'm going to do is turn them to the side. I'm going to bring in 2 of my Simon Says Stamp Positively Saturated inks. I have Sangria and I have Sherbet. Now, starting with Sherbet, I'm just going to use my blending tool, and I'm going to add color. Not all the way to the tips here. I don't think I mentioned it, but this is Spellbinders Bellini cardstock. Okay, and I'm going almost all the way to the tops. I want some of that Bellini showing still. Now that our sherbet's done, we're going to switch out the color, and we're going to go with our Sangria. Now the Sangria, we're going to go to the halfway mark. Okay, we want our center to be pretty red. Sangria is a really pretty color mixed with sherbet. We'll do the same thing here. Now to help my accordion fold go a little bit faster, we're going to help it along the way, and I'm going to be using my T-square ruler from Simon. All I'm going to do is, you see the circle and the tips here? You have the circle and then a triangle, circle, triangle. All I'm going to do is take my ruler and I'm going to help along the crease. Just like this. Just kind of give it a little bend. Like so. We're just helping it along, okay? And then I'm going to fold it. And then this is where we're going to begin our accordion fold. All you do is you go in and out. When you get to those triangles, you want to pinch. And again, you want to go in, out. When you get to the circle, you kind of want to help that pinch. In, out, triangle. You want to help that pinch. And we are almost done. You want to help those decorative edges along. And then this is what we look like so far. Now I'm going to use my bone folder, and I'm just going to go over the top and the bottom really quickly. And that is all there is to that. And then that one is all done. Okay, I'm going to continue and do the same thing with the other two. So we have 3 of these, all nice and crimped. What we're going to do is take one, I'm going to flip it over, and on the inside of this end piece, we're going to add a little bit of glue. Okay, and then I'm going to flip it over. And then what we're going to do is layer it on the next one. They're the same exact 2 pieces. You just want to layer them together. Like so. Connecting them. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to add a little glue on the inside here. And that was quite a bit. Okay, and then we'll do it this side here. And then this is going to go layered over here. You can actually layer it flat if you want. Just line it up. Line those holes up. Layer it together. So that you see how flat they are, but they line up easily. And so now you turn 3 into 1 piece. And then we can just go ahead and reinforce those score lines. And then we'll just fold it again, just so it is like so we have a continuous pattern. Now I'm going to take this, and what we need to do is attach this end to this end. It's very easy to do. All I'm going to do is add glue to the top here on one end. Okay, and then we're going to take the other end and just connect them. Just like this, kind of like we're making a little crown. Like this. So it's really easy to connect it if you make a circle out of it. Okay, give it a second to grab, and then you want to pinch it to make sure that it has that score line and everything looks cohesive. After we have this done, we're going to take our glue. This is where the glue gun is going to come in. I'm going to add glue here. Now before your glue dries, you're going to take this, kind of pinch it towards the center like this. Okay, this is the easiest way for me to do it. Once it's pinched towards the center, you're going to layer this right over that circle. And just hold it down, and you're going to connect it on that background. And that's all there is to that. Look how pretty. This is the back side. So the back side is actually flat. Okay, and then we're going to add another dot of glue here at the top. Okay, and then I'm going to add this snowflake right at the top. And look how gorgeous this is. That is all there is to the rosette, and it is a big rosette. Let me bring in my card base again, and I'm going to show you the size. Isn't that gorgeous? I actually created another one earlier. Look at, so I have another one. This one this is the back side. If you wanted to layer 2 of these together, since the back side's flat, look how gorgeous this would be a really pretty ornament. Glue it together. Okay, this would make it, if you wanted to put a string through one of the snowflake pieces and make a little something for your gifts, oh, I think that'd be really pretty too. So much you can do. Now, believe it or not, I did the same colors with this one as I did this one. This one's a little lighter, and I'm going to show you why it's lighter. And it's because we are going to use some solar sprays. These are Simon Hurley solar sprays. I have overheated, and I also have golden hour. Golden hour is a real pretty gold tone, and then heated, overheated has a real pretty iridescent tint to it. That's almost a corally. So I'm going to heavily spray this. Actually, I have some hairs from that glue. I'm going to spray this really nicely with overheated. And then I'm going to go over it with my golden hour. Golden hour is going to lighten it up a little bit. Okay. It's pretty saturated. Now I'm going to let this dry. Okay, and in the meantime, we're going to finish our card. I wanted some flourish to my card just to kind of fill in my card base. So I have 2 pieces of cardstock. This one is Spellbinders Oceanside, and then this one is Simon Says Stamps Sea Glass. Okay, and then I have some white cardstock. With the white cardstock, I'm going to use my rectangle dies. I'm going to cut out a just rectangle panel. You don't have to do this. What you could do is create a panel that would be, I would say, 3 3/4 inches by 4. Okay, and then I'm also bringing in the hanging leaf ring die set from Simon. This creates a really pretty wreath. Okay, but the flourishes in here are gorgeous, and I love the flowers too. Okay, the flowers, different sizes. I'm going to die cut out with some white cardstock. And I think I need to bring in another piece of white. With the greenery, we're going to cut out with the colored cardstock. I'll do that and I'll be right back. For my flowers, I added a gem. These are clear Pawsitively Dazzling gems. And I put the same size in all of them. I'm not going to use the bigger flower, just the 4 smaller flowers. Okay, so those are all good to go. Now I'm going to take my panel. I'm going to go ahead and glue this panel directly to the front of my card base. I'm going white on white. I like doing this because it kind of frames what's ever behind it. It just kind of adds an elegance to your card. Now I'm going to add my rosette, okay, but I'm only going to add it as placement for when I add my leaves here. I think that looks really pretty. The shorter foliages, I just wanted to make sure are underneath my snowflake. Okay, and then I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to add some glue behind here. And then we're going to layer our snowflake right in the center. And it's hard to see on camera, but it sure does glisten. Okay, and then with our smaller flowers, I'm going to add a couple down here. And a couple over here. And then I'm going to add one more gem by itself, but a smaller one. Off to the side here. And here. Lastly, I'm going to put a small greeting on here. I'm going to be using some of my I See You Easy strips from Simon Says Stamp. I already cut out some, and for my card today, I thought sending hugs would go perfectly right down the middle. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue, and we're going to put sending hugs right down the middle. And that will finish off my card today. A super pretty snowflake card. Really not too bulky. I love that rosette. That snowflake rosette is just a stunner. If you wanted to check out the Simon Says Stamps thinner cardstock, I think you wouldn't have to use a T-square ruler when making your rosette. So if you want to make mass producing them for your gifts, I think that'd be fabulous. But they make fabulous cards too. So this is the Simon Says Stamp DieCember 2025 Thinlits Snowflake Rosette from Tim Holtz and Sizzix. So pretty, way bigger than what's on this little package. So I hope you get a chance to check it out, and I hope you enjoyed my project. I have so many more fun projects to share with you, So keep a lookout for those videos, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.